The statehood day of Serbia is marked on the religious festival of Sretenje, presentation of Jesus at the temple, in memory of February 15, 1804, when in the little town of Orasac in central Serbia, the battle for the final liberation from the 5 centuries Ottoman sway began. On the same day, in 1835, the first democratic constitution of Serbia was proclaimed in Kragujevac. Sretenje celebrates the day when the first Serbian uprising broke out. This was the largest national uprising in the history of the Ottoman Empire and one of the largest uprisings in the history of the Serbian people. It also marked the beginning of the process involving the formation of national states and civil revolution in the Balkans. With the uprising, states developed as well institutions formed after institutions of free European states that came into being at the time of the French Revolution. The uprising broke out in response to years-long tyranny in 1804 and in 1806 already. Following the liberation of Belgrade, it grew into a true revolution, resulting in the Serbian insurgent state that would be later, after the uprising ended in 1813, renewed as an independent state in the second uprising in 1815. Until 1878, Serbia was almost entirely independent, and it finally won its independence in the war against the Turks. The state later unified the Serbian people and unified Yugoslavia into a single state, the largest national state in the Balkans in the 19th and 20th centuries, Yugoslavia. Sretenje is also tied to another important event. The first Serbian constitution was enacted on this day in 1835. That same year, feudalism was abolished in early May. Then Serbia was ruled by Prince Miloš. In the course of the 10 difficult years, by 1830, Serbia managed to become autonomous and as such recognized by the Porte and Russia. Subsequently, the Serbian state was given back those regions that were taken away during the first Serbian uprising, primarily the Timok region and southeastern areas of Serbia. In 1835, the opposition organized the so-called Militist Rebellion, with state advisor Mileta Radojković at its helm. The rebellion was not crushed like those that had earlier broke out against Prince Miloš, but resulted in compromise as the army and part of authority sided with the rebellions. Prince Miloš accepted the constitution, which was written by Dmitry Davidovich, the prince's secretary, editor-in-chief of the first newspaper in Serbia, and a minister of education for a while. The constitution was deemed exceptionally liberal, the personification of democracy and human rights, and was the first constitution of a Balkan state. This was the first constitution of a free country, and it was modeled after the 1830 constitution of the July monarchy in France. East of France, the Sretenje constitution was the most democratic constitution of the time. The Sretenje constitution lasted a very short period of time, and it faced major opposition, especially abroad, primarily in Russia and the Habsburg monarchy. It was quickly overturned, annulled, and 4 years later the opposition agreed with the Turks to enact the so-called Turkish constitution that would remain in force until 1869. Serbia's statehood day was celebrated until the formation of the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes, when it was revoked. In 2001, the Serbian Assembly reinstated it as the statehood day. It is deemed the most important holiday of the Serbian people, along with Savindan and Vidovdan.